Working digitally in Procreate, we have many tools that we can use that help in our process that can effectively create more an efficient workflow. So here we have 3 layers. You have my sphere on top, you have my foreground / ground, layer 2, and layer 3 are these mountains. So we know that we can move these layers around. So if we wanted to, say, move the mountains on the top, you can do that. So let's undo that. But let's say I actually wanted to move the sphere with relation to where it sits currently on the canvas. So there's this tool here in the upper left. It is a selection tool, and one of the benefits of that is I can do one of 2 things. I can actively select that shape itself. In this case, it's the sphere. And if I click on the arrow, I can now move this object. Now, what I can also do is I can take that same selection tool, and let's say I wanted to cut out a piece of the sphere. Let's say I wanted to just kind of carve out a moon-shaped portion of that. Use that arrow tool, and now I can move that part that I just cut out of the sphere. I can also grab by this little handle here on the top and rotate it. So that is one of the advantages of working digitally, is we have this selection tool, and you can use it to your advantage to be able to, on the fly, move something on your art canvas, whether it's an element such as a person, an object, or some other, whatever the thing is on your art canvas, and you're able to move it around. So remember, the selection tool allows me to grab and move or select certain sections of the painting within the art canvas. I can scale it up as well. I can reduce it and move things however I see fit. Now, I want to talk about one aspect of the scaling of what you're seeing here. What I'm doing is I'm scaling. I'm either reducing the size or increasing the size of this painting, this part of the painting that I've cut out. On a technical note, there are 3 different settings that will determine how the scaling of the object you've selected looks after you've made that transformation. Transformation, by that I mean enlarging or reducing the size. So let's go ahead and start with a new canvas. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just draw something, paint something. And actually, let's change that. Let's go to a finer point. That's something like this. I'm just kind of sketching. I'm not really trying to make anything in particular. I'm just kind of wanting to show you how this kind of works. Okay, so we're going to take our selection tool. I'm going to grab this sketch, and let's say I want to reduce the size of that. So we click on the arrow, and then I'm able to move this smaller, make it even larger. The thing to consider, keep in mind, is there are 3 different ways by which you can sample the artwork, and specifically sample the pixels that will either make this drawing look fuzzier or keep it at least as sharp as possible. So we're going to click where it says bicubic, and it's down here, and let me show how you get that. Again, at the selection tool, make my selection, click on the arrow tool as if I was going to move it or scale it, and I'm going to click where it says bicubic down here. So this is the interpolation tab. And you notice we have nearest neighbor, we have bilinear, and we have bicubic. So when you have nearest neighbor, what will happen is if I'm to, let's say, increase the size of this drawing, if you're to look at it, it tends to get a little fuzzy. So what's happening is there's a sampling taking place. Let me undo that. The sampling of the pixels that takes place when the setting is at nearest neighbor, where it's only sampling one pixel all around it. And what that does is it's basically just trying to kind of scramble around and piece, pixels together and kind of fill the gaps, if you will, to make this enlargement possible. Because you're actually adding pixels, but you're using a very not as clear, it's less resource intensive to just create this interpolation to enlarge the drawing. So my recommendation is to use bicubic if you want to keep it as sharp and clear, as clean as possible when you're reducing or enlarging that artwork. So if we use bicubic, it's going to basically use the maximum amount of pixels as it's comparing, the actual drawing to what's near it, to actually enlarge it and keep it as crisp and clear as possible. So that's just kind of a short overview, kind of my tips on using the selection tool in Procreate.